Hello everyone, and welcome to today's video. So if it's your first time here, I'm Anthony, and today we're going to talk about healing through yoga postures and some breathing and meditation. So these are some things that have helped me when I was healing through yoga and still am healing things through yoga, either mentally or physically. And one thing I like to say is don't take my word for anything. Always try it in your own experience, and I try to do that with everything I hear. I try it and test it thoroughly in your experience first and see if it works for you. If it does, great. If it doesn't, drop it and try something else. There's plenty of things here to try, okay? So the first thing I like to talk about is consistency. So everything that's natural takes time, right? Consistency is key. And a big difference between muscle exercise and stretching is that the muscle gain lasts a long time, right? Strength lasts a long time. So you can build a lot of muscle and then wait a while afterwards. For me, it lasts about a month even. If you don't do any strength exercise, you still keep that muscle gain for a while. But with stretching, it's completely different. So stretching, you lose very fast. I noticed it in myself in a couple of days if I didn't do any stretching, which I don't actually do because I feel so much better when I do it. But it does go away pretty quick, and you know this if you've ever consistently done yoga or any type of physical stretching for a while and then stopped, and you see that you lose a ton of flexibility very quickly. Okay? So first thing is consistency. Physically with the stretching, and mentally with calm and stress reduction, which is, in my opinion, just as important in the healing process, right? Because so many things with stress, we don't need to go into the scientific end of it or any of that stuff. Just seeing yourself that, stress relates to illness, right? And calm relates to healing. It's pretty simple, right? Pretty obvious. So as you're building a consistent yoga practice, I would say really try to look at the mental aspects as just as important as the physical aspect. I know that sometimes this is tough in the beginning, but as you go on and you progress and heal through whatever you're doing, you'll see that it's just as important, in my opinion, if not more important. Okay? So it is cumulative, just like the physical practice, right? It's cumulative, so consistency is key, especially for things like meditation and breath work or breathing, pranayama in yoga, the breathing exercises, okay? So it's definitely cumulative, and consistency is important in that as well. And don't push yourself if you feel sore from the postures. That's going to be the case in the beginning, of course. But I would take a break, suggest taking a break maybe, and just do breathing exercises, simple breathing exercises. I have them on the pranayama, I think it's called energetic breathing practices playlist, and meditation. I also have meditation playlists. So do those on your day off, but try not to not do anything. Okay, still do the mental part, the mental aspect, because it will help you heal, it'll help you recover, and it will help your body to heal, your mind to heal. Okay? The second thing is awareness. So this is something that carries across all practices, whether you're talking about yoga or any of the practices in yoga, whether you're talking about meditation, breathing, qigong, or martial arts, or anything. Awareness is the key, right? That's the thing that carries across everything. In prayer, or whatever type of spiritual practice you do, it doesn't matter. Awareness is in everything. In my experience, it was the most important factor in my healing. And I didn't realize that at the time. But looking back, I see that that was the most important factor. As my awareness increased, I became healthier and healed gradually as that happened. Another benefit that awareness has physically is prevents injury. Right? I've only been injured in yoga or any other practice when I'm being unaware. Right? I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing, or I'm focusing more on getting somewhere or a goal than on what I'm doing. Right? So that's the main thing that helps us do it safely and progress and heal instead of having some injury which causes a setback and takes more time. Okay? The third thing is the breath. So this is the thing that I see practiced incorrectly the most, the breathing, because it's not prioritized a lot of the time. So I would say prioritize your breath. It's what heals you, right? It's what healed me. the energy is carried on the breath. So that's where you get a lot of your energy. So the more breath you take in, the more energy you get, right? Simple. And the softer your breath is, right? The softer your body is inside, the easier your energy flows, okay? So this is something you can feel inside yourself. Don't take my word for it. Experiment and observe and feel and see if you feel that's true. Okay? The softer you are, the more relaxed you are, the easier and more smoothly your energy flows. Okay? Simple. So the breath. Be aware that even if you want to get a workout or you want to exercise as well as stretching and getting the mental and spiritual benefits of yoga, you can still sweat, right? Your body will sweat without your heart rate getting up. So this is something that gradually, it's an ability that gradually builds. It's true endurance, because what is endurance if you're huffing and puffing, right? But endurance you gradually can do more and more strenuous exertion, I guess you could say, muscular exertion, so harder postures and holding things that take more effort or for longer periods of time. And your heart rate can increase, but your breath doesn't have to increase, right? So naturally, when we're not aware, they're interrelated. So heart rate increases, breath increases, right? That's how it works. You're running and your heart rate gets up and you're and start breathing quick, right? But in yoga, your breath can stay the same and your heart rate can be a little faster, right? It can be speeding up. Your body can be sweating. You can be building heat in your body, okay? So try to keep that in mind. The breath is most important, and as you practice, that's the marker of your practice, of your progress. Your breath will become longer and longer, smoother, slower, but you still, it doesn't mean you don't build heat in your body. You still build heat in your body, okay? You still progress in the postures, still be able to do more difficult postures if that's what you're into, is what you want to do. So what I suggest is, if the breath becomes out of control, right, practice the postures. If your breath starts to become quick and uncontrollable, stop for a moment, slow down, take a few breaths, just sit, a few breaths, get your breath back to normal, and then begin again. Right? So we're talking about yoga for healing, right? I'm not talking about the way it should or shouldn't be practiced or whatever that method or style is practiced, okay? I'm talking about for healing. Your body has to be in rest and digest. It has to be in a calm, relaxed healing mode, right? Not in pushing yourself in fight and flight mode, right? You don't want to get in that. You want to be relaxed and calm inside yourself, right? So all your attention in your body, okay? So slow, long, deep, smooth breaths. And the fourth thing, the last thing that we'll cover in this video, is sensitivity. So talking about internal sensitivity, and like this being increasing, but this gradually increases, just like the awareness, just like everything else, right? Just like your flexibility on the physical level, your sensitivity gradually increases. So in other words, right now, maybe you can't feel too many sensations in your body. Maybe you can't feel every movement of your torso, your diaphragm, your ribs with your breathing, right? And that's fine. But that will gradually increase, right? Even to the point, eventually, where you can feel your organs in your body. You can feel what's going on in your organs. Is there tension in certain areas and organs? So very deep. And we start this with breath awareness, feeling the breath moving in the body and the stretch. Okay? So what I suggest, a very simple way to do it, is when you go into a stretch or you're holding a posture or even moving through postures, feel the expansion and contraction of your breath in your body. Feel that movement, right? You can start with some breathing first just to get a feel for that. Then when you move, moving with your breath, right? Not breathing with your movement like we do you see in weightlifting a lot, right? So the directions in weightlifting might be exhale as you pull up, as you contract your muscle, and exhale as you soften, right? But in yoga, we don't do that. It's a very subtle shift where you follow your breath. So breath leads the movement. The pace of your breath leads the pace of your movement, right? Not the movement leading the breath. In other words, we don't, and this is a subtle thing, so it might sound simple, but it's true when you do it in yourself, right? You'll see when you do it in yourself that exhaling with your contraction is different than contracting with your exhale, right? Your breath comes first and then you follow your breath. Not the movement comes first and you breathe to your movement. You move to your breath. Let your natural rhythm of your body, your breath, determine the pace of your movement. Okay? So the first thing is, as you're holding the posture, you focus on the sensation of the stretch, where you feel the stretch in your body, what it feels like, right? Be gentle with yourself, of course, always going into the postures. We talked about this in another video. Be gentle with yourself. Don't push, don't force, okay? No pain, no gain doesn't work here. It only causes injury. So healing is soft. Healing is being natural, soft. We have to relax, right? We're always too much yang, too much pushing in our culture already. So relax. Just go softly, be patient, and then feel the sensation of the stretch and feel the movement of your breath in your body, that expansion and contraction. And a simple way to develop sensitivity is be aware of, as you inhale and there's the expansion in your body, you feel the stretch deepen a little bit, get a little bit deeper, a little bit more intense, you could say. And then as you exhale, you feel that intensity go away or lessen, right? It gets less intense, softer, relaxes, releases. And just focus on that. The relationship, the connection between the sensations of the stretch and your breath changing as you breathe. And that's it. Use that as a starter, and sensitivity will increase from there. And be more and more aware of the feelings in your body, sensations, the energy flowing, if you can feel, which you will feel eventually, if you don't now. And the second part of this is what I've found in myself is that smooth flowing energy equals health, right? And you see this in Chinese medicine and Ayurveda, and Chinese medicine, acupuncture. They focus on removing energetic blockages, whatever term you'd like to use for that, where the energy doesn't flow freely. And free flowing energy equals health, right? So free flowing energy equals health. In your body, what you'll see when you practice the postures, what I've found when I was practicing them over time, softer you are, the more easily your energy flows. So chronic tightness, right, which happens with injuries, sometimes with injuries or sometimes just with poor habits, poor postures, maybe doing something for 8 hours a day, like driving a car for a job or something like that, something where you're doing the same thing or typing on a computer. You develop habits in your body and these tensions that create imbalance, okay? So with an injury, I noticed with my back, when my back was injured, that it would be very tense in certain places to protect. It tries to protect that area, right? So you see this with low back a lot, right? If someone has many low back issues, you see a lot of areas of tension around their hips and abdomen and back and things like this. So their legs and hamstrings get very tight. So what you want to do is focus on softening, right? And in your daily life, especially if you have an injury, that might not be possible all the time, but gradually you can work that way. And focus on allowing your body to release and soften, let go, in a safe and gradual, soft way, right? Never forcing. Gradual, soft, and allow it to open in its own time. The softer your muscles are, the more relaxed you are, the easier your energy flows. So focus on softening, relaxing, releasing. And that's about it for this one. This is part one of a two-part series. Thank you for joining me. And if you have any questions, as always, let me know. Feel free to comment. I'll put those two playlist links to the pranayama, the energetic breath work or breathing exercises, whatever you like to call it, and meditation playlists in the links so you can use them if you want to. Okay? So as always, thank you for joining me and see you next time.